Okay, let's get actual link. Bum, bum, bum. Control audio via OBS. I don't want to scroll for details. Okay. Bum, bum, bum. So I kind of want to wait a couple minutes, see if anyone drops by, because this will be more interesting if there's people to talk about. I guess the escape isn't that exciting. I do want to make sure that audio works correctly. Looks like that's coming through. I want to make sure it's not on monitor only. It is on monitor only. Okay. Oops. I might end up muting it if it's all just that music instead of actual gameplay. Probably should have like planned around giving people some time to show up better than I did, but it's no big deal. Just gonna get going and oh, I don't know. I'm just gonna get going. All right, so starting with the escape, I expect that all of this will be pretty much familiar to even new players. A lot of people probably don't know. I don't know if Moogle actually did this. A lot of people don't know that you can hold A and get an instant mash. You see there, he's just holding A. And then after this first, oh, I need to, hold on. Is there a way to get it to capture what I'm pointing at? I guess I could do it differently. I could, instead of having a browser source, I could do a window capture. But I would like to be able to point at stuff. See properties. I don't know what an output projector is. Doesn't seem useful. All right, I'm gonna try to capture. So I really want my access to my mouse. So we're gonna try. Window capture. That's fine. This size is absurd. Oh, this isn't... Oh no, that's no good. No, go back. So I don't want a full screen. I want it to take up the whole window, but not the whole screen. Alright, I should have done this better, but it's alright. Oh, that's a... Alright, well... Okay. Oh, that's not what I meant. Let's do... I don't know. Something like that. I really don't like adding crop filters and OBS. I mean, you know, I just think it could be better done. The UI could be easier. That's what I meant. Seems just about okay. A little more off the right, and then we'll resize this a little. Not sure what the best way to do this is. We can just let this be full screen, I guess. Is that a decent aspect ratio? It looks okay. Alright, so first thing here is lo-fi beats. So, okay. I don't know how to go back less than 5 seconds. So the first thing is if you can just hold A and you'll get the instant text, whatever, advance, I guess, text advance on the first text box. It only works for this one here. So as soon as the second line of text is started, you just want to start spamming. There's nothing to do here but spam for a little while. So I don't know. I have watched some of Noobsplice before, but not very carefully and not in a while, and not all of it. So I'm gonna be experiencing this for the first time with everyone. Hey, Dow. So here, you can see Moogle was spamming L and R to jump off of the couch, or bed. You can also do Y and A, because neither of those do anything yet. And then just leaving the door. You hold diagonal off, and then leave the door as close as clean as possible. The only real big thing on that screen is picking up bushes. Here you can pump. It looks like Moogle is pumping, which I'm a little surprised by in Noobsplice, but it's not a huge deal either way. This is just more text mashing. This is a good place to pump just because it's a long... You're just holding left and have nothing to do for a while, but, you know. Not a big deal for anyone who's actually new. Here, so Moogle actually cut across this grass patch here. If you hold down left out of here, you cannot cut across it. It's not a big deal, but something to look out for. So I'll just clean movement. Cutting between these two torches over here is like a tiny bit faster, lets you diagonal a little bit longer. You can line up with this thing in order to have a clean door entry. Well, very straightforward, just line up with the doors. That's pretty good guard RNG. You can do some stuff in there, depending on what feels good with guards versus how much you want to be able to pump, but it doesn't matter that much. It's a pretty clean execution of that strat, but I think most people pretty much know how to do that strat. It's another good place to pump if you're bored, but it, again, doesn't really matter. Unless you're on, like, water or a ladder, it doesn't matter a ton. So that was really clean. I want to look at that again. So, oh, this. So here, let me do. Can I do frame advance? Oh no, that full screen. Oh crap. Alright, this isn't gonna work at all. So I can't show the thing I was gonna talk about. Alright. It's fine. You can sort of walk farther in before releasing B, and then it's a lot less tight on getting the spin to kill the guard. But obviously the less far deep you go, the less far you have to walk back. It's not a huge deal either way, but... Here, cancel stair lag. I guess we've canceled stair lags a few times. So I'm not actually the expert on this, but I'm pretty sure that you're supposed to, if you're doing two-pot, you grab from the far right there because it loads the ball and chain guy. So he starts walking to the left earlier. So if you're doing two-pot, it's a little faster to do that way, but I've never really done two-pot, so I don't know the nuances. Oh, I guess this is coming through. Yeah, alright, we'll keep it then. Canceling stair lag there again. Not much going on in these rooms. Coming up here, he's going to hold up right off of this staircase, which it took me a long time before I found out why that is. It's just that if you turn right, you might get an anti-pump, so it doesn't slow you down to just hold upright, so you might as well just not. Here we're just going for more, you know, trying to be as clean as possible on door entries and stair entries and stuff instead of nudging in them. I see a lot of new players have like, I'm gonna pull this down a little. When they're at like a 605 or a 610 escape, they sort of get it. But then once you get down to like a 559 or whatever, you're like, all right, I did it. And then you're like, well, where the hell are the last 10 seconds? And a huge amount of it is just clean doors. Cancel stair lag, clean door entries. Pumping makes up some of it as well, but... What's up, Sirius? Yeah, the Seattle key rat is like 2.5 seconds slower or some nonsense than the like best possible RNG. That was really lucky Snake RNG, but you can do something similar to that most of the time. I don't know what's going on in here. It's like 2 seconds. Yeah, it's a lot. Here, this is one of the rooms where I think even new players really should pump. Walking in water is incredibly bad, so it's actually worth pumping even if you don't do a lot of pumping. Hey, Ray. What's up? Shoutouts to Ryan. So the key rat, obviously we're not going to go through every RNG here, but one of the things I think is important in this room is that you'll see that as soon as he slashes this, he's going to just like, he found the key rat, slashed it, he's already holding right, like before the slash is finished, and he's just going to boom when he's, you know, after he's sure he's walking right. Like the first thing to do is kill the rat, and then as soon as you've got that started, you walk away and you boom it. Like you have to trust that everything's going to go right. What's up, Twin? Yeah, but I mean, even if it's only like 1 second, it's like, I guess my point is just that like it feels bad because it is pretty bad. There's nowhere else you can lose a second to RNG in Escape. Slashing left out of that door, I believe, is safe on all RNGs. If you're low on hearts or just don't want to deal with it, you can always slash. Here we just smash through text. The only thing to say about this is that if you're holding down before the question at the end, so you can start holding down any time in this text. I personally use the 3-dot text box as my cue. You can just hold down starting then, and then even though this question pops up, if you're already holding down, you won't ask the priest to repeat, so you can get a first frame move down afterwards. Here, you want to do the diagonaling while you're on the stairs for movement pattern reasons. So you want to hold down right off of the while you're on the stairs in order to line up with the door as much as possible. Enter high there to bait this guard into not getting in your way. It's all just sort of following the movement path. You don't want to accidentally do a bunch of anti-pumps, but other than that, it's like really just as straightforward as it looks. Very good. You got pretty good Octorok RNG there. You want to hold that downright diagonal as long as possible because diagonals are really good. So the earlier you can start, the better. You can't always if they get in your way. Here, you want to pump up the stairs just because it's really slow. Unless you pump, like pumping increases your speed the most when you're on stairs. And it's easiest to pump when you have both sides covered. Here, if you pump really well, not even that well, but pretty well, you don't have to boom that guard, which saves the boom time, but also just like makes it a lot less scary, at least for me. There's no worry of like, oh, am I going to get a short boom or whatever. got the God RNG. I don't know how much Moogle like grinded for good RNG and stuff in these splits. I don't know if we're gonna get perfect RNG in a lot of places or what, but that was definitely good. That was good. You can when you get to the middle of that room, you can sort of diagonal or do cardinals in whatever combination is comfy. Always get those arrows. You want to slash that guy instead of booming him because you need some rupees, and if he drops a rupee, you always get it. I actually don't like that boom there. I prefer to just pick up the key with my body and then have a pot in case there's a Stalfos in my way. So I think this is the first time we snap into a door. So you're going to see here he holds a diagonal until the door unlocks, and then the game pauses for, it's a pretty short time. You can't like wait for the pause before doing your inputs. You have to be like pretty ready for it. But you can sort of get used to the feel. So he's diagonaling because diagonals are fast. And then as soon as the door unlocks, he does a cardinal up into a cardinal left. Because when you're diagonaling into doors is really bad for most doors. Because you move at 1 pixel per frame instead of 1.5. So as soon as the door unlocks, he switches to up and then snaps in left. What's up, Poyo? Yeah, I kind of thought that, but I don't know. Maybe he just only did a couple takes and happened to get really lucky. We'll find out. So this big key damage boost, that's that was really good. You can also bounce off the anti-fairies. I don't know how popular that is. That's another door snap. That's what people mean, like, if you watch FMG, Fricker's always saying, snap into the door, snap into the door, snap into the door. That's what he means, is that diagonal into 2 cardinals movement. Because of the way diagonals on stairs work, you can go either way off of that chest. Most people go left just because it's, I don't know, familiar, but if the Stalfos is in your way, it's fine to go right. Gifted with greenies is really hard. The one poke strat, I think, is easier. I did it for a long time, and I still do it if I need a drop. Stuff is all straightforward. Let's see how ZGR goes. ZGR is a super hard room, and it's a lot of RNG dependence. Oh, he goes for 2 pots. Interesting. That was actually really fast. That was still sub 7. A lot of players will just opt to shoot an arrow down there. But I've never seen 2 pots before. It seems like an interesting thing to try, though. Pretty straightforward, Armos kill. That is a 10:53 Eastern. That's an insanely good Eastern time. Not for like a 123 or even 124 runner, but that's better than most of my Easterns. Almost all my Easterns. What's up, Waffle? Oh, I want to talk about this movement, actually. So you should basically copy all of this movement exactly as he does it. Once you fall off of this first ledge here, switch to... So, while you're walking into a cliff, if you change directions, so if you go from left to down left, the timer for the jump resets. So hold left until you're actually in the air, and then switch to down left. And then that will just hold it until you fall off of this, and then switch to left. That lines you up perfectly here, and then you switch to up left until you cut this corner, and then you just hold the diagonal here. Super, super simple. It's all just like holding directions. Here, the only real thing to know is you can talk to him from a million miles south. Yeah, I don't know, I never really used this that much. I know it's helpful for a lot of people, but I wanted to go through it, and I wanted to sort of talk about it, because I feel like... Oh, he just walked that out. You can dash out, too. I tried to watch it, and sometimes I would just like sort of zone out, or be like, I don't know why that's better than the alternatives or whatever. So here, the big thing about this is that you really want to cut this diagonal between these bird statues, I guess. A lot of people go left and then down, which is fine if you like are struggling with diagonal movement, but diagonaling while you have spin speed is incredibly good. On this screen, you see he held up left for a little bit. He nudged up. If you hold up left while you're starting your dash, you'll always clear this guy, which makes it easier. And then you want to dash down pretty far to the left so that you always deal with this guy. Yeah, I think it's really good for strats at that level. The problem is it's just not a tutorial. I say problem, it's not a problem. I just think that doing a little bit of commentary on it, I'm hoping that this can be a little bit of a tutorialness on top of the just like really good strat work that Moogle put into this. Yeah, no reason to go for spin speed there unless you just like doing spin speed. You can dash up there pretty far to the right and still bonk just fine. I used to try to dash through those bushes for a while, and I don't really know how to do it right. I think the dashing down on that tile is really good, or dashing down to that tile and then dashing right lower is really good. Yeah, I can upload this. I'll definitely highlight it. I think it'll probably get muted because I have this music playing, but I'll upload it if you want. I'm local recording in any case. So this is really good. So this screen here, this movement, you want to dash. I think there's more than one way you can do it, but I learned it this way and it's great. You want to dash until this patch of grass is lined up with this bush. Then you dash down and none of the RNG from this guy will ever be a problem. And then you dash right under this bush. You can even nudge it, it doesn't really matter. And then this bird will try to start to get at you, but it'll never have time. This guy won't be in your way, and you'll get this massive slope dash. Right, slope dashes are really good. They move you faster than any other form of movement except spin speed. I think. Pretty sure that's right. So you get to this you do just these 3 dashes on this screen. A lot of people are sort of like gloss over this screen and then realize that they don't know exactly what to do. This movement is exactly what to do. You dash down there and then you dash left there. Obviously one splice can't show every RNG, but it works on all of them. It's awesome. This is the highest possible pixel, I'm pretty sure. I don't actually know how to do this mashing correctly. Probably should learn that. I think you can even release the spin lower than that if you're going for the spin strat on that guy, on that Starlight guy. There's also a ton of ways to do this torch key room that really just whatever is comfortable is fine. They're not that different. I don't know if there's too much to talk about in that room. I think the movement mostly speaks for itself. This one you see, because he got a pattern where he had to re-dash in the middle of the room to not get hit by a cannonball, he had to walk down like below the green stuff in the floor before he could dash down. A lot of this is just like, hey look, you just got the boots, here's a bunch of big corridors to dash through. Which is mostly about just like starting your dashes cleanly and ending them cleanly. Here you... Oh, okay. So this is actually interesting. So this guy here will spawn, and if you're on the left side, you can dash down and beat him. But if you're like uncomfortable with that, or if you're like slow starting your dash or worried about being slow starting your dash, you can start on the right side of the wall, and his like suction sandpit thing does not extend to the right side of the wall. So if you're all the way up against this, you can just dash down clean, and no matter how slow you are, it'll be fine. So if you're doing that, I guess this movement is right. I've never actually tested it, but if you're not doing that, you just want to diagonal all the way down if you're leaving on the left side. But if you're going for this strat, which is totally fine if you're not like good at starting your dashes fast yet, it's super easy to be, like there's no way you're ever going to get caught by the Sarlacc. There's no possible way to dash in the stream that isn't slow. Just walk it. You can pump or not, but don't dash. So, this room, I think is actually pretty interesting, this room. You see, he's going to start the dash about here. A lot of people walk like a full tile over to the left more. When you're dashing, your hitbox is gigantic. This is going to kill this guy real. You can actually be a little even farther to the right, although this is a pretty good spot to aim for. So this is like not even going to come close to missing the Popo. And the next thing to know is that after you cancel a dash where you dash through an enemy, you have to wait a few frames, 4 frames I think, before you can slash. So you dash down here and then you cancel and then you pause for like just a tiny second and then you slash that guy. Very, very clean. It's hard to handle all the Popo RNGs in that BMO room or whatever. I wonder what this land mode is like. Whoa, what a weird setup. Never seen that before. Alright, so this should be a 3 cycle. Yeah. Very nice landmo. $17.01 is like, well, it's not noob pace, let's say that. Yeah. I think my best ever desert time was an 05. This is all just like normal stuff, just done very cleanly. So on this screen, probably Moogle didn't know about it. I think a lot of us, I think actually Moogle discovered it recently. On this screen, if you're like getting caught on this swim, you can swim all the way right until you hit the wall and then all the way up. And that will get you right in the portal with no risk of getting hit. 1701. Yeah. No, 1701 was Sankar. I mean, if you can do that consistently, that's 123 level play. It's good safe movement there. Could have gone for an arrow on that pickle because of the arrow, really nice high arrow count. I mean, that's definitely true, Dow, but I don't think that you get to 123 level without being able to shit out 1701 deserts either. Like the correlation, or the causation goes the other direction, but... Anyway, the point is just that it's really, really good, not anything about particular pace. So I learned here recently, actually, I think from Ari, that having your sword held out doesn't slow you down when you're walking with the old man. So if you're gonna slash to deal with that dead rock at any point, you can just do it as early as you want. It's not gonna slow you down. So, oh, that's weird. Okay, I don't know what he's gonna do. most people, you hold right starting there, or you tap right and then switch to upright, and then that like gets you off the platform, sort of going at the diagonal. But with spin speed, if you hold right too high, you lose spin speed because you diagonal off of the thing wrong. It's going around high. I don't really like this even as a noob strat, but certainly something to try. You can try different movements on there. I think you want to dash up there if you're not going to go for the quick hop, but it doesn't matter much. It's like a 221 entrance or something. That dash down, I think, keeps you safe from the Moldorm. So if he's in the way, you can do that. Otherwise, you can just walk. That 2-dash strat, that's another thing to keep you safe from the Moldorm. Gets you through a little easier with a little more hearts. This is using old strats instead of very important pot spin speed. Guess we can skip this. And throw that pot at that guy because it kills it a little earlier, which makes the door open a little faster. It's not a huge thing, but might as well. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not super familiar with it, as I said. See what we do in here. Cool. 10:47 is a pretty solid Beatles time. I don't know anything about that strat, but it looked good. Yeah, well, there'll be stuff to talk about. Okay. This, I have to do I do this all the time. Just do the spin strats for bomb jumps. I think they're, at least please give them a try for my sake. They're so much easier. They're so much less stressful. Here, you have to do this, like, he moved up and then had to adjust up again, and then, he's actually on a good pixel, I'm like 90% sure. But then he bonks anyway, which means you have to time the bonk. It's like, it's so sweaty until you've done it a million times. That walk is good because of the diagonaling. You could go over the left and dash down too. Some people do that. I think Bitey does the dash sometimes when he's low on hearts to avoid getting hit by a Moldorm. Bumper skip is really good. It saves like at least 2 seconds. I use a menu buffer for it. He used sort of a slower setup in order to preserve the menu buffer for later. You can sort of do whatever you want. Play around with what makes it comfortable. This is not a newbie Moldorm fight at all. Yeah, spin strats are super good. They're faster than everything except for early bomb jump. Because you place the bomb before you do anything that slows you down. So you place it at the same point. They're fast and super easy to get consistent with. I cannot recommend them enough. I don't think that's how a noob should probably fight Moldorm. Honestly, but it's all good. This is basically just a mistake. If you're not going for spin speed here, which, like, whatever, spin speed is good, but you don't have to do it. You want to stop this dash here and dash down for slope dash purposes. You get the quick hop and the everything. Those arrows are a great backup. He didn't actually need them here, but I guess just wanted to show them off. Sprout is also going for tree rupees, which again is not super newbie. This is sort of the or one of the easiest versions of Tree Rupees. But no shame in just doing Saha Rupees. Tree Rupees is very hard. Oh crap, he even got Pushguard RNG. That movement he did coming out of that last log looks really weird, but is actually faster. You want to do the low dash and then the long diagonal instead of getting the longer dash. Baby Swim is not in this. I did talk about it though. I think it's really good. I think people should learn it when they're starting out. Honestly, I think just not doing fake flippers is also incredibly valid. Getting the mushroom, I don't know how many safeties or which ones he gets. So that movement, I think I actually am going to talk about that. So this movement here, I think is applicable whether or not you do Tree Rupees. If you walk down pretty low and then dash right, you always kill the bird. I see some people like do weird movement where they dash and then cancel and get scared or whatever. But if you just like go down and dash right, you always dash right through the bird. You can even go down farther than that, but this is totally good. Just kill the bird. Just sank in shroom. Okay. So this isn't really... And that's not that newbie, right? People give up safeties at different times, but rarely will you see anyone below like a... or above like a 133 or whatever with just those safeties. That nudge is really important. See, he dashes such that he's going to nudge on this. You can, I guess, just land on the right pixel. But you really want to dash like all the way to the left here. Otherwise, you sometimes get frame rolled by that guy. I think that dash right there is like one of the hardest to time in the whole game. I don't know why I have so much trouble with it. This strat is really good. I think that the value in this strat is actually not that the other one is harder, but that that strat doesn't rely on having beams or arrows, and until you're pretty good, you're not going to have both very frequently. Yeah, I think I dropped Shroom right after I got 129. It's only fun. I mean, it only costs like 3 seconds. You can keep it as long as you want. It's faster than Sankart, or about the same. I don't know what to say about Dark Maze. That room sucks. So that little twist up. So if you hold up right out of here and then just let go of right for like a little blip, like a tick, like a frame, you like bait the guys. It doesn't really matter that much anywhere in this sort of, while you're cutting this diagonal is fine. You'll bait them away from you and you get through the door clean every time. It's way safer than dashing. Didn't need to slash that guy, but it's fine. That's the way to do it if you don't have beams, which I guess he wanted to show off. So those guys take 2 arrows or 3 slashes, or 2 slashes and 1 arrow. So if you're not going to use all arrows, you should use all slashes. Clean circle pots. It's pretty hard to do circle pots that clean. Menu buffer does help. That looks scarier than it is. You actually have a pretty good amount of time to do the boom up, but you can also just do the diag boom, which a lot of people prefer. So for anyone who's wondering, you just start your dash here, and then you don't have to worry about it until after the last text box. You just have to be holding A by the time the cutscene ends. I see people not going for the dash just because they don't know the mechanics of it, but it's super simple. I'm not gonna sit through Aga. Spin the balls back at him. Nothing to talk about. Sub 28 Aga Tower is really good. Obviously 0 blue balls is always nice, but this is a disgusting... I do that sometimes. I just like forget that I can let go. This is a disgusting light world time for a new player. Each individual room here, the strats are for the most part pretty simple to do, but actually doing all of them in a row in a real run is not newbie. Oh, it's 4 blue balls? Oh. So with 0 blue balls, that would have been like a 29 1x. This pod overworld is one of the hardest screens in the game. There's not too much that can like really get you on the way up unless you like get hit with Kiki and run out of rupees or whatever. But last time I did a room grind, I did this room a couple times and then compared against the top times on Strat Hub, and I was like, holy crap, I'm getting annihilated. This was pretty clean. Yeah. So, okay, this is a pet peeve of mine. Please walk up here. This is one of those dashes where if you start your dash really early, you can save like 5 frames. But because of this switch here, if you're canceling your dash wrong, you're gonna like hit this switch when you don't expect to. Your dash out is gonna be terrible. It's gonna be a nightmare. Just give up on those 5 frames, walk up and dash left when you're lined up around here. I mean, you know, do it as best as you can, but nudging is better than hitting the switch wrong and then screwing up your exit. If you have to go about 1.5 screens, you always want to do a diagonal and then a cardinal walk instead of a cardinal walk and a dash. That looked bad to me. That looked less safe and harder to do right, but I don't actually know. I'd have to play with it. Maybe it is more noob friendly. It looked like it's really easy to get hit by the fireball or screwed by bad berry RNG. So where you fall in that room impacts where you land down here. You can land like between here, like anywhere in this square, I think, or this square or whatever. So you want to fall in the pit from the top. This is like really clean execution, threw the bomb at a good time and was on the bridge when it broke. But if you just want to like throw your bomb, like you can place your bomb later and throw it and whatever. But like you want to, if you're going to be waiting for the bomb, you just want to fall in from the top. It's safe. Yeah. All right. I mean, I don't know. Again, I haven't actually tried it. It just it didn't look safe, but that obviously doesn't mean it's not. The reason I don't like it actually, all right, let me go back. The reason I don't like it is that if the berry gets in your way and you're like here and you realize the berry is right there, beaming upwards has some weird property, and so sometimes just doesn't hit it. That's my problem with it, is that sometimes you'll try to beam the berry and then it won't hit it, and then you'll just, what do you do from there? But for some reason, if you do the other movement where you diagonal up here and then beam to the right, the beam to the right like always hits it, whereas the beam from the bottom, I really do not understand it. All I know is that since I switched to the diagonal movement with the beam to the right, it's way better. But, you know, whatever works for you. Really early dash cancel, which is like totally fine. You can dash up to that chest or not. It's not a huge deal. You don't have to have a super clean dash to save time. I think it's worth it, but no big deal. Do we do hammer jump? Okay. So this is one bomb hammer jump, which is definitely, I think, is good to start with. Gives you a lot more time to get on the second pixel. I think that if you plan on ever dropping the mushroom or powder or whatever, you should learn menus as if you didn't have it, to whatever extent that's possible. Like, I just always learned left, 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 right, right, right in here because I knew I would drop it one day. So that arrow shot is like pretty hard. I use a Q with the lineup of Link's ear in the bottom of the chest, but you should like find something that works for you. You don't want to be scrambling every time you're in this room. Find a setup that works for you. I just sort of like flailed and shot arrows into the wall and chest a lot for a long time, and it's just like you could lose a lot of time and get really frustrated. It's definitely worth it to practice. What's up, Popsicle Sticks? How's it going? That was a sick statue push. Don't worry. It's impossible to actually do that. This is a really good safe strat for this room. Very easy to execute. Doesn't actually lose that much time. This walk in here is also super good. You can either dash up and then dash right, which requires starting this dash before the arrow hits, canceling it really well, and doing this dash really well to save time. The walk is super easy and loses a tiny amount of time. I very much recommend it. Very nice. Yeah, that's exactly how you want Turtle Room to go. 834 is quite good. Holding down left after the block starts moving makes the a little bit of less lag in the cutscene. So, yeah. Let's talk about this. This is really good. So because of the way these things explode, if you stand here or symmetrically there, neither of the ones close to you will hit you if they explode first. And if this one explodes first, you have an hour to notice it and move down a little bit. And then after this one explodes, we know this one's going to explode. So I'm not sure exactly what he wants to do here, but you already know that you have to dodge this one next, and then this one, they always go clockwise. So he just waits, plays it super safe, which is very reasonable. And then delays the 17th hit to despawn that fireball is really good. Goes for slashes and spins. Very nice. I think that learning hammering there, I sort of think that you should learn it, at least try it pretty early on. The most dangerous thing in that fight is Helmasaur being alive, and so the hammer stuff is harder to do, but it kills Helmasaur faster, which is really, really good. The longer he's alive, the longer he can hit you. Yeah, this is Moogle's tutorial. Just adding some color, talking about some stuff, providing some context for what makes these noob strats good versus the other stuff. Or I'm trying to. I hope this is helpful to someone. It's fun. I've never really watched this carefully before. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So all of these ropas have like a small chance of ruining your day. This is mostly just about like clean dash cancels and stuff. That walk right is baits the bird out of your way. Makes it super easy to get out cleanly. You see here, he walks down. So you walk down to dash so that you clink that guy out of the way. And then you can walk down sort of until you feel safe. You don't have to go down very far. But if you're like nervous about not getting a first try hammer dash or whatever, this walk down a little bit does make it safer. Yo, what's up, Satan? Thanks for the resub. How's it going? There's a lot of different movements you'll see people go for on the screens, the 2 screens before the Haunted Grove. They're not a huge difference. A dank sandwich, hell yeah. What was on it? So that dash there, you just want to just like hold right out of the cutscene and dash down like he does here. You just always want to do cardinals before dashes. I mean, not literally always, but almost always. Just get a longer dash. Dude, I haven't had a blizzard in years. There isn't. The nearest Dairy Queen is like like 40 miles from me or something. I never get them anymore. That was very clean movement. It's hard to do that spin speed that well. Yo, what's up, Moogle? Grilled sourdough with roast beef, pastrami. That's a lot of animals. I don't eat animals, but yo, shout out to Moogle. This is his content. I'm commentating over. Hope I'm doing you oh god, what is the word? Oh, it's not explored? That's okay. This room is difficult. He does this slash here, which is like definitely makes it safer. So if you're like slow or whatever, this guard aggroes because you did something wrong. The slash gets it out of your way long enough to dash. It's also pretty common. I used to like menuing to hammer here, and then you can just hammer that guy to death, and then it's like even more out of your way. But this is good too. So this is a small thing that is not actually just random. He walks over here, picks this up from the top, and then sort of diagonals to the left, and then goes right. Entering this from the left side is a quick warp. It's not any harder than any other movement once you're, I mean, the hammer and dash and stuff is not strictly necessary, but once you're down here, it's not harder than any other movement and saves some time, so you should always do it like that. You can walk down there instead of dashing if you want. It's a 3 flat entry. Pretty good. Oh, that's cool, that little walk back and forth instead of doing the dash. Seems good. So I don't know if that was on purpose, but he dashed a little bit farther to the right, but knocked this guy out of the way, which seemed really safe. I really like that, actually. Although I don't know that I would ever have the brains to react to it in time. That hammer is not actually faster, but I think people thought it was for a long time. Those rooms are pretty complicated. I don't think there's any super noob friendly thing. Actually, here, I will say something about this one. Oh, no, I skipped too far. That key dash is pretty easy to go for. This room, what I did for the longest time that I really like, there's strats in here to like read the RNG, and there's sort of 3 lanes. You can go up top or bottom, middle, but below here, or like really low. What I did for the longest time was I just like walked in and dashed low, and then if this lane was free, I went there, and otherwise I went this way. Just like that. I don't know if that's like was the idea there or not, but it lined up the same way. That was an insanely clean pot throw. I just want to watch that again. Dude. Look at this. Look at this. He's like, that was like an instant, like the farthest to the right possible. That's so clean. I think that strat with the pot throw doesn't actually lose hardly any time compared to the like hammer and dash. I haven't actually tested it, but it looks really good to me. Oh, that was also super clean. It was interesting to place the bomb a little bit later instead of trying to do the slash up. Probably easier to do. Seems really good. Haven't even watched Noobsplice. I've watched like parts of it, but I've never gone through it carefully before, so a lot of this is new to me. So that menu there, you can kind of menu wherever, but menuing to read the RNG in this room is like pretty popular and pretty good. And then you can like decide, you see where this Patrick Star is. You want to go to whichever side he's not on, and then also like figure out some plan to deal with this guy. So I'm not sure exactly what he's going to do here. I think you can beat the projectile in this case and go around, but you could also choose to just like hammer him, or you can like walk up there, and then if the projectile's coming, just pause for a second and then go around. Yeah, just opts to race him. Oh, what's up, Mace Place? Mace Face. Fair. That bomb in the toilet conveyor toilet, pretty reasonable to just always get if you want. It's pretty fast. Walking up there, I think that this is something that you should experiment with, personally. I like dashing because then I don't have to think about the guys getting in my way, but I do have to think about canceling dashes really tight. The other way, you have to think about them getting in your way, but you don't have to think about dashes. Either way is totally fine. The time difference is totally negligible. Oh, good. I was worried you would let a tile drop. That's interesting, just waiting there. That bridge is really hard to deal with fast or safely. That's a really tough room. I assume this is just going to be a straightforward, clean blind fight. Yeah, I figured. I saw you do... well, you actually took a hit in Aga Tower for beam purposes, or losing beams purposes. That's a beam only kill, by the way. He's always going to have some part of his body in the light if you don't have beams. Yeah, I see you having beams and deliberately doing beamless strats. Which I think makes sense for the purpose of it, of the splice, but is a little funny to see. Oh, we can skip some of this. Oh, never seen that way of doing it before. This walk down here, by the way, is really good. The dash is completely deranged. Just walk. I can't believe you didn't do a top skull talk, dude. Nobody does that in their splices. This probably has old smiths. Yeah. I assume this just has old smiths because it predates blank smiths, because I think blank smiths is easier. But this is definitely fine if you for some reason don't like blank smiths, but I would try learning blank smiths first. If you are going to do this, placing the portal that low, I think, is what you want to go for. I see some people sort of struggle with where they're supposed to place the last portal. Blank is a community member. He is an insane genius of routing, and he came up with the strat that most people go for smiths now. Not even going for fence dash. Yeah, his tag is blank. I don't like that, but it's okay. So if you dash along a pit here, and through an enemy, which some combination of those things causes a weird effect, where you'll try to cancel this dash, and then you'll like not start a dash, or you'll start a dash and not be able to turn or whatever. It looks like Moogle sort of cancels the dash and then gives it a second to make sure that the redash is clean. You can also just cancel it earlier. I like canceling my dash like around here somewhere and then just walking up and dashing left through this. But like the reason that, like, if you've noticed that this redash feels super weird, it's because it actually really is super weird and you need to do something to accommodate it. As Waffle was pointing out earlier, you can use what's it called? Boomerang in here on the mummies if you want to make it a little easier. If you're doing the collectathon and thieves, so if you're getting powder, you can do as many like flute locations as you want. You can get ether. I think that's another Moogle invention, is using ether on the mummies. Oh, it wasn't yours? Well, it's very clever. Again, I have to say, I just think spin strats are the way to go. I learned about ether mummies from Satan, but she said she learned it from somewhere else, I think. So that key pickup, this is one of the pet peeves I had when I was learning. People will tell you just stand still and wait for the key pickup, but you can pick up the pot, from like 1 or 2 pixels below. You have to be face mashing the pot in order to pick it up automatically without walking up at all. So just like, don't try to pick up the pot too early. Like, still make sure you have a good clean pickup, but don't try to do it as early as possible, because as early as possible is actually too early to get the strat. Nice Fire Snake RNG. Right pot. You could do left pot. Try find easier. Joe Way rules. Shout outs to Joe. That fire rod there is definitely really good, but sometimes the Moldorm screws your rod up and then ruins your day. It's a good moth fight. Yeah, right pot is like a little bit faster, but it's harder to do cleanly. Was that a cut? Just learn Joe Way, I think. Crystal catches. Oh, I see. The two main strats are Joe Way and Cypher. And Cypher's uses 1 less rod shot, but is 12 billion times harder and saves like 9 frames. It's like super not worth it. Yeah, that's like the rando baby strat, is what I think of it as. I'd recommend just learning Joe Way. Do we do a bird dash here? Oh, we do. So this is one of the easier bird walks, or dashes, whatever you want to do. But they're not that important to go for, and not getting picked up by the bird is horrible. So here, this is something that it's this tiny little thing that a lot of people don't realize. Someone had to point it out to me, but he's going to walk down a little. He actually walks down kind of a lot. The pixel that you warp on, you're going to get slowed down by this patch of grass and by this patch of grass all the way across the whole screen, and you're dashing for like 1,000,000 miles. If you go down at all, you're only going to get slowed down by one patch of grass, and you go like a lot faster. That moblin scared me. You can walk up after throwing that big rock too. It's not a big time difference if it's easier. Very clean. I would actually not throw that pot that low. Or the rock that low. So, when there's text boxes, you can close text boxes, text mashing on... Oh, when dashing? Oh, I don't know. Probably just because he was bored. No reason to do it while you're dashing. I mash LNR in all sorts of dumb places just because there's nothing to do. So movement in Zora's Domain, just knowing like where the dashes are can save you a lot of time in this room. probably going to be like a 33x or something. 30, you know, 30, 3x. That was a sub 30. So sub 30, I didn't realize it was that clean. Sub 30 on this first timer is really, really good. I think that's a goal. That was my goal when I was first learning this room, was ever getting any sub 30s. And you do it by just doing that movement. Most of it is for speed. A little bit of it is for dodging fireballs correctly and stuff, I think. But just like watch a good player like this Noobsplice or whatever, make it through this room and copy the movement. Doing random dashes and stuff in here, you're going to get hit by fireballs. You're going to splash all over the place. It's just like actually knowing the route cleanly. Yeah, that's why I was so surprised that that was still a 29:53. That's a great time for how safe you took some of it. Yeah. So that's a 60:22. That's a really good time. You can get out in under 60 seconds, but it's it's going to take some work. That swim was insane. This is another quick warp where you enter from the left for a free quick warp. It was free. It was so fast. Yeah, cold stare is the biggest thing. There's a little bit of safety in Turtle Rock if you have half magic, but if you mummy out of Roller Room, you generally have plenty of magic anyway, so it's not a big deal. They're good, really early dash starts and stuff. So you do 1 bomb or 2 bomb in here. I actually think that 2 bomb is safer. I like it as a noob strat. 1 bomb is easier in your bomb route, but 2 bombs makes that room easier. What was bad? Wait, what was bad? Oh, the penguin room exit. Yeah. Yeah, that was not optimal. But not a huge deal. The nudge, yeah. That's a crazy place to place that bomb, by the way. But I guess it works. That was a really fast conveyor belt. That's not a noob strat at all. That's good, though. Whoa. Yo, that's cool. You just like stop over here. Huh. That's dope, dude. I think Twin had a higher ratio of practice to runs than you do, Satan. I might be wrong, but I think she did a lot of practice. Probably still does. So a couple of runs might be farther apart in terms of how much practice time went on between them. I can't believe you kept beams in that spike room and then didn't show off deranged beam strats. That's a nice clean 6 slash. I don't know, I never really did 6 slash, except that when you're bad at single poke, you sort of turn it into 6 slash, but pretty good. Yeah, congrats again on that run. That was really good. What's up, Brian? This is the worst bird dash / bird walk in the game, by the way. I still don't go for it. I don't trust that nudge on that block. It scares me too much. Are we doing Ether and Meyer in a Noobsplice? Okay, okay. It's a little bit of a flex. That's another, oh, I should say this. This is another one where you want to enter this from the left side for a free quick warp. You can fit under it. If you nudge with this block, you just walk left and then diagonal upright a little bit. Yeah, this is, yeah. Yeah, there's definitely been a lot of routing meta changes. Yeah, this is sort of targeted around 130 level, I think. That was not a mirror dash, so I gotta take some points away. I think it's safer to walk left and dash down. I think they're actually probably both pretty safe, but if you walk left and then dash down and nudge on that, you'll always miss the Any Fairy also. Dude, mirror dash rules. I really love item dashes, so I do as many as I can. The Any Fairy doesn't actually have RNG, it's just how far it's made it through the room. But yeah, you can make your decision while the cutscene's going. Can I get this bomb, I guess? Yeah. So mirroring while the block is in motion actually gets rid of it forever, not just invisible, it's just gone. But you can do that by starting an item dash with the mirror. I'm just kidding around. The item dash is just whatever. I do it because it's fun for me. It only works on caves. It does yeah. That's the only one in the game that's actually relevant. But there are a couple other caves that we don't go to in the run where you can also do it. This is all just very clean. Straightforward strats done quite well. Fire Snake almost decided to get in your way. Yeah, you can net dash into some of the trees and blocks from like the left side and maybe from the top also. Automatically catch the fairy. Yeah, exactly, twin. Probably just teleport. Yeah, so you can't do. Oh, this is a good thing to mention. You can't. The actual mirror functionality takes precedence if you're inside a dungeon, so you can only use it in a regular cave, not in a dungeon. So there's just not many places. You want to dash in and then cancel your dash right around here into a diagonal. Otherwise, this guy will shoot a fireball at such a time that it hits you. Yeah, some of it will not be applicable to people who are getting gold, sword, and silvers, but most of it is. This is the other place in the run. We talked about this about an hour ago when you're rescuing Zelda. But you cancel this dash with an upright because then you don't accidentally get an anti-pump. And north, these stair doors don't have the weird drag. So I want to say you can dash up here instead of here. And it makes the timing a lot more lenient for both of these water sprites never hitting you. I don't think a lot of people know that. I had to find that out on my own because I got tired of getting destroyed by that rune. You want to walk here instead of dashing. This diagonal is better than doing it in the water. And you can't get the diagonal movement and a dash that's worth doing. So you just want to do what he does here. Just sort of hold up left and then quick hop off. Or I guess you didn't actually hold it, but same difference. Yeah, this isn't like Fruit Bats level. This is just like a reference for how cleanly you can do straightforward stuff when you're not trying to push stuff, but you want to upgrade a little bit, I guess. Two slashes in there. You can also start a dash, cancel it, and redash. I think they're pretty similar timing. Fairly recently discovered tech, as far as I'm aware. You can hold up left out of here, and then these guys like don't have an RNG that goes far enough to screw you up. So you can hold up left a little bit and then dash right. It's a tiny bit slower, but it's safer. I mean, Fruit Bats is actually a pretty good runner. But his tutorial is meant for like straight up beginners, like your first intro to speedrunning. Yeah, Fruit Bat's tutorial level, yeah. I don't remember what his actual... He has a PD. I mean, he has a 1-2x. I don't remember exactly how good it is, but pretty good. Sub 7 Swamp, nice. Oh my god, you're going for that bird walk. Alright. Not sword climbing, I respect that. Probably not actually worth menuing if you're not gonna sword climb, but... doesn't matter much. Yeah, there's more pumping than I was expecting when I started watching. The stairs and water are the important ones. Oh, we got ice right here too. Yeah. which is good because you did take a hit. And then you got your hit back. I guess you didn't actually get hit, and that was in a prior take. Hold on, let me rewatch this screen here. Yeah, so dashing on the top here, you'll probably see most people go for... You can either dash left here, or you can dash left up here. The time difference isn't huge. This one is a little bit faster, but it makes more of the crabs crabby. So you can just go up here. It's not a big deal. If you're starting out, it's good. You can also stop at like any point, play the bomb, place the bomb, and throw it. So you can like menu to bombs, and then like when the crabs are on screen, and decide if you want to throw it, place it early, or dash all the way through, or whatever. Yeah, it is important not to forget the ice rod. That is pretty non-negotiable. So you have a long time to set up this quick warp, by the way. You can't see because of frame rate stuff, but it's when Link is lined up like fully inside the block or 1 pixel to the right of that. There's nothing else to do while you wait for the warp to happen, so. Very nice. This movement is how you get the bird to not hit you. You can slash it if you're really scared, but movement's always clean. Alright, so that was really good. If you don't have beams, this is the thing to do. Do it all with the fire rod. Yeah. This is really good. I'm always saying this, but it's just between takes. When you're new to this, when you're pre-Noobsplice level, beam right, dash left, dash up is all you really need to know about this room, and you can sort of wing the rest, but that much is like really easy to do fast. And with the new routing, you're like even more likely to have full HP because you're probably not doing any shopping in this split. But he has full hearts. Don't worry about it. But yeah, if you don't have beams for whatever reason, this is a great way to do it. Pretty much as fast as possible. Unless you want to go for the ridiculous duck strat, where you hope to farm a heart by making the room much harder. Pretty much always, yeah. Alright. That's fine. I guess that's just what you do if the fire snake gets in your way, so we showed it that way. Fire rodding that guy. Interesting. Okay. No, it's faster to dash if the snake is not there. Yeah, well, you want to take a step up, yes. Unless you're going to beat the fireball, which is pretty tight. So just gonna call this out. A lot of this stuff I'm not saying much about because it's just like Moogle's doing great stuff. This room, just walk onto the tile. Pump a little bit, walk onto the tile. Don't try any dash nonsense in here. It's terrible. Yeah, but if you put all of your best room times ever together, it would be a lot faster than that. Which is, you know, kind of what this is. I was going for no spark gamble, which is probably good, especially since if you're doing gold, sword, and silver, so you'll be down a heart. So the cue I use for this is when Link's hat lines up like around here, you can dash and you'll not hit the anti-fairy. I don't know what duck ragu is. I just read that. Dashing up here is both faster and also has your sword out, which scares this guy instantly. So this is like, this strat is very easy. You hold down left a few pixels and then you dash up, and then it makes the start of this room easy. So this is absolutely the way to do this. Oh, I think that's a different duck. That's just named after a dish, because apparently that's the thing to do in any percent RMG routes. Oh, he did? Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. Taking this pretty safe. Oh wow, you still beat it. Nice. This is probably just like this that hadn't been timed yet, but I'm pretty sure the dashing here is just totally pointless. Just walk left and then diagonal instead of dashing and then walking. It's easier. You don't risk bonking. It's just as fast. Very clean, spooky. Interesting. So the idea there, I guess, is to burn the last bit of magic so we can do fake powder. I'm curious why we burn it there instead of up here, because up here we have to wait for this cycle anyway. So what here, he's gonna, yeah, so fake powder, for anyone who doesn't know, you use this thing, the Cane of Samaria, while you have 0 magic. After the text box, you menu to mushroom, and then you get a powder. Wait, fire snakes run into blocks? Oh. Who knew? And then just do Vidi correctly. Red Cane breaks the game in a lot of different ways, yeah. If you're not going for spooky, I don't know how you drain all your magic out, but if you're not going for spooky, you probably have powder. Oh, poor Buddha. What's common knowledge? Yeah. So, yeah, well, fake powder is a fairly, well, I don't know, probably 2 or 3 years old at this point, but hasn't been known about forever. One thing to know about fake powder is that you can do fake powder when you have real powder. So if you're out of magic, but you already have the cane, you can do powder. So Ryan, since I know you're watching, that's the way to do that screen. Going up and around with spin speed or hook speed is ridiculous. Super dangerous. That's what we're talking about when we talk about the Waffle House. Yeah, you can fake mirror instead. This is really good here. So all this movement is like not random. A lot of this is designed around slope dashes. We want to maximize this slope dash and then this slope dash. And then this slope dash. And then this slope dash. It's the best place to place those slopes, or place those dashes. Fake mirror is when you're trying to do fake powder, but you accidentally menu to mirror instead, and then you just mirror back to the beginning of the dungeon and then reset your console and rage. I think those are the only two. I think you can menu again. I think you have like a frame to menu again. But yeah, it's really bad. You don't want to menu to mirror. There's no reason to line up there. Just hold up after you pick up the pot. I've heard of that happening to people. I've never actually done that one. Yeah, so the hook left here is about a second faster than the hook waiting and doing the hook up, I think. But missing it is about a second slower than just doing this. So if you're having trouble with this, you can just wait for the platform to go around. It's not a huge time loss, and it's better than missing. Mirroring out here is like 4 to 5 seconds, but also gets you full magic, which makes various... Well, magic management is sometimes really hard in here, depending on how drops go. I'm pretty sure that Bitey did that same roller room the same exact way until 127 or 128 or whatever. I don't know what this is about, what this Chomp's Fire Rod stuff is. I see people doing this sometimes in various categories and stuff. It seems like the weight is worse. I don't know. I guess it's something to experiment with if you're having trouble with the cane stuff, but it doesn't look like it would be easier to me. And it costs more magic. You want to dash down as far right as possible there, just like that, to dodge the anti-fairy and that guy. Yeah, fire out strats for the pokies, real good. Spin strats in this room aren't too bad, but spins and pokies too are really, really hard. Everyone likes emo music. Yeah. I mean, every single strat in this is, at worst, RTA viable, and for the most part, like, pretty easy to do cleanly RTA. The problem is not that the strats are too hard, it's that there's 500 rooms in a row. So just like picking a strat in each room and doing it is really the thing to do. Fine. I don't know, there's so many different things you can do in Crystal Roller Room. That's one of them. And there are some rooms that there's no way to get through that's super easy, that doesn't take forever. Yeah, I hate that strat. But whatever. If it works for you, it's fine. There's also a million strats you can do in this room. That's a perfectly good one. And it gets you a bomb if your bomb route doesn't have one yet here. I think everybody should try learning backdoor strats on Trinex, but if you struggle with them, this is fine. But I don't think you can always beat the ice head, which means sometimes you have to fight with ice on the ground. I was totally an emo kid. Alright, what do we got here? Interesting. So I think that's the first split that isn't like normal 125 runner level split times. A lot of these are like close to my golds. Turtle Rock is the first one that like actually gave up a significant amount of time for safe strats. Although it's hard to tell with Swamp and Mire because the shopping is different. No, I'm trying to do the opposite of Flex. My point is that going for these safe, consistent strats, he's still getting times that are like really serious. Really good times. Oh, right. Fake powder took a while, yeah. No torch key. This is, I think, if someone remade this, I think would be when you would get torch key. It's actually pretty fast. It's like around a second or less slower than chest key. I always sort of like thought it was super bad, but Doom timed it, and then I didn't believe him, so I also timed it, and it's actually really very reasonable to get. So there's a lot of different stuff you can do in Fire Snakes. You can do a bonk or a hookshot here, it doesn't really matter. But in general, I think that this wait here is just the thing to do unless you're really pushing times down. I think this is just the way to do the room until you're sort of frame whoring. I like that strat a lot. There's a lot of pixels that work for that bonk, by the way. So this, just want to point this out, this was really clean, but you really want to dash up far on the right here. You don't have to be quite this far, but you want to be at the very least, you want to be centered on this tile, and you can be like as far over as you want. Because otherwise that Helmasaur has a chance of just like messing you up, and don't want that. A little bit of bomb routing recut. This is a good way to do this fight until you're comfortable with the movement. It's noticeably slower than getting the early spin, but definitely good and until you have the time and energy to practice getting the cycle started early. Very good. Just watch Mimics again. This is the Joe Mimic strat. This is taken a little slowly to make super sure that we're not wasting any arrows or anything. But this is definitely really good. I guess not even that slowly, just a little bit of a hesitation to make sure there was a lineup, it looked like. This strat rules. I had this for so long. That's a really, really good strat for Mimics too. Is there a noob-friendly thing that is possible to do in Spike Pit? Maybe? It's hard to tell if that was easier or not. No. Okay, yeah. I didn't think so. Just pick something and go for it, and sometimes you get hit. Oh yeah, hitting the switch can make it a little easier. But then you get confused when you get to the chest room. Not that I would know or anything. That was a really good gauntlet. G1 wasn't the best, but the rest of this has been really clean. Very nice, very nice. That's a 420 Lambo 2 entrance. That's really good. What's this gonna be? That's like, what, 720 pace or something? Sub 407, wow. I get like low out of gauntlet. I check at the room, the actual Lambo 2 transition. I think I get low 4-1x. Yeah. This is not the noobiest, friendliest way of doing Torches 1, but it's pretty good. I don't know. If you need a newbie strat in there, there are others, but I think that one's pretty easy, or pretty manageable. Spamming Fire Rod once again for fake powder reasons. Yeah, well, Dao is really good at this game. Hitting this cycle, chest key is hard unless you're fake powdering, but if you're fake powdering, then chest key is really good. Yeah. Yeah, I realized that after you did it. But yeah, if you're doing fake powder or regular powder, then chest key is kind of free. This doesn't really matter that much, but you want to cancel stair lag by holding up instead so you don't nudge on this. Stay on the grid, but you don't get the nudge. What do we got here? I'm so excited to see all your boss fights because I just don't know how much you grinded them for versus had them off the cuff. Alright, alright. You did go for some disrespectful movement. Yeah. Yeah, the thing, well, I don't know. It's just hard to tell because there's so many things to learn and everyone learns them in a different order. Just pointing stuff out where I feel like it's easy and simple. So a 724 GT, again, for Noobsplice, 724 GT, that's like a gold for like a 129-ish level player, I want to say. Noob, quote unquote. Yeah, I was fake powdering there until 128. Or low, or I think I dropped it in 129. So we got early single. I assume we're not going for a double. Oh well, not with that RNG. I don't think it's necessary to fight Ganon like this at any level. I think it was actually Moogle who taught me about 3 out of 4s with Fire Rod, which I think is what I recommend. I would recommend going for 3/4 with Fire Rod at this point, but I could be wrong about that recommendation being good. There we go. GG's. What is it? 125 5x? $25.57. Very nice. I think that when you're just when you're not super confident with the Ganon, with tempered Ganon, I think the thing to do is do Lamp Torch Glitch and then do Fire Rod 3/4. Yeah, I think this ties Moogle's PB. Or do you have a 58? You made this 2 years ago and you just cut... Oh my gosh, you still haven't cut it. You're 1 second off of cutting it. Okay, so spiritually it's a couple seconds faster. Alright, so I'm gonna run to the bathroom real fast. If anyone wants to talk more about anything that happened in this, discuss other strats, anything like that, I would love to talk about this game forever. I'll be back in a minute. Bitey turtles. We're never talking about bitey turtles again. Baby swim is great. Okay, let me get my... I have sort of a partial setup, but it should be good enough for talking about stuff. I really like that song. Oh, crap. Go away. Okay. Alright, let's talk about Baby Swim. Baby Swim is excellent. Sirius is trying to post info hazards in the chat. So... what am I doing? So Baby Swim is going all the way to the right and then all the way straight up. I guess the Zora can get in your way. Very, very easy. Versus the regular swim, which is... if you miss the portal, then you're just like, your life is over. You end up like getting lost and eating a fireball and everything is terrible. So if you're having trouble with that spin, you can go for this. Or you can just do West Side Breeze, which is actually not that bad, and you shouldn't feel pressured to do fake flippers. Oh, yeah, let's talk a little bit about what I mean by 3/4. I don't know if that's meaningful to everyone. When you get to phase 4 of Ganon, sorry, it's hard to talk while I'm doing this. When you get to phase 4, you'll see like top players going for triples, which is where you light you get 3 spins in per torchlight. But it's like really, really hard. It takes a lot of practice to be able to do triples consistently. So what you can do instead is you can spam lamp here and then do whatever. And then after that, you can just only light the torch when he's on the bottom. So you just hang out here, wait for him to warp to the bottom. And so what'll happen is you get 1, 2, 3 on, and then 1 off. Because this is the hard part to hit the cycle. So you have all this time to set up. And then you hit 3 out of every 4 that are possible. But it's pretty easy to get all 3. Whereas getting like full triples is very difficult. So if you're struggling with the Ganon fight and like failing to get triples, like if you're getting doubles but going for triples, then you're getting 2 out of 3, and you can get 3 out of 4 instead, which is better. So that's what I mean by 3/4. It is something to try out if you are new to the tempered fight and you are not comfortable with triples yet. Okay. I don't have anything useful to say about lamp triples because I've never tried to learn with lamp. But maybe it's good. Certainly something to try. I don't know. I've never like run any percent in RMG or whatever, so I don't know how to do lamp triples really. Couldn't decide where I wanted to go there. too early. Yeah. It's my placeholder when I don't have splits. Did I not? There we go. Oh, alright. Well... it's... this... There we go. It's that if you want to learn more about it. Trying to remember if there was anything else that I wanted to talk about in particular. That run. Again, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna do anything after this stream, so I'll just like if anybody has anything that I can help with, I'm happy to answer questions until we all get bored of each other. What was I gonna talk about? I feel like there was something I wanted to do. Mac related? What was it? I was saying a few minutes ago you would do a different strat if you remade it now, but I can't remember what it was now. Oh, I can show this off. So in here what I used to do is just walk down here and then dash. That's like always fine. If you just dash like around here, you can always make it through. And then you go low if you have to and high if you can. Reading the RNG is really hard in here. And this like doesn't lose much time unless you get an RNG where this path is blocked and this path is free. It's the only time you lose a significant amount. Oh, you can't... yeah, so one of the problems with Macs is that you can't run live split on a Mac. So you'll have to use probably Lawnfair. There's just no live split build for Mac. I can talk about Sunspeed Helma. I don't know if it's something that new players are going to want to do. But if you spin speed, if you spin dash, you get a huge hitbox up on this hammer instead of a tiny hitbox up. So you can hit him from like way down here. Whereas if you don't have that active, see how much farther up I have to be before my hits start hitting. So you get a bigger hitbox. And then you can just like output damage way faster in phase 2. Oh, I've never tried the browser version. I forgot that even existed. I've definitely I've like seen a link to it, but I just run the program. Yeah, you can just use Lawnfair. Lawnfair's not that much worse than Live Split. Oh, we were talking about Torch Key. Yeah. Torch Key is fine if you want to go for Torch Key. Windows is freeware, basically. You don't actually have to pay for Windows 10 anymore. I mean, they bug you about it, but it works fine. I think I Pretty sure there was a couple things I wanted to talk about, but I didn't take notes because I'm a dummy. Yeah, I used to stream from Mac a long time ago before any of these people knew I existed. It wasn't too bad. Can definitely get it done. I think I want to say it's Chex who streams on Mac. Chex Human, if you know him. Yo, what's up, Chex? I didn't mean to call you out. I didn't know you were looking. But yeah. I don't know if you want to help out a random person with tech problems, but it can be done. He's proof that you can stream Zelda from a Mac. Oh, one thing I do want to talk about, just because I just want to evangelize this every time that I get a chance. If you spin and then walk off a ledge and then release spin and hold down, you'll sort of pull back to the ledge automatically before the spin actually starts going, and you'll always be on the last pixel. This is, for me anyway, this is by far the easiest way to do bomb jumps. You can walk pretty far off the ledge. You can see some of these. I'm walking pretty far off the ledge before it becomes a problem. I never mess it up, but trying to show exactly how far off you can go makes it pretty easy to go too far. But so you can just like place the bomb and then do that. You have tons of time. You can also, I think Ryan does it like this, where you back up to the ledge with it and then place the bomb once you're sure you're in place. Nope, this isn't gonna work. Yeah, what's up? Fun fact about this game. Ah. The easiest way to get into EG. Okay. Gotta hit the switch, and apparently you can't get back to the other switch. How the fuck are you supposed to do this? This is not the right setup. I'm just trying to get to the damn pit. And get into EG like this. How do I create and load save states other than presets? What are you playing on? I think that the save states only works on SD to SNES. But you have to download the version for SD to SNES from the website. And then it's select Y and R. Somewhere in here, shortcuts tells you, and you can change them, but the shortcuts menu tells you. Alright, night Ryan. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you have a good night. This has all of your shortcuts in there. Yeah, so if you're doing it on an emulator, just use your emulator save states. Oh, this is another thing. So the way Moogle did this was he canceled stair lag and then slashed his sword out, which slows your movement a little, which makes it easier to land on a pixel. That's one. There's a lot of pixels that work. Yeah, you just need the SD to SNES version, or if you're going to play on an emulator, just use emulator save states, I guess. So I think that... Yeah, so this I think is the top pixel that works. Oh, I was wrong. This next one down. Anyway, so there's a bunch of different setups for bumper skip. I know one that Bitey likes is like that, although I don't know how it works. A lot of people just sort of walk down and nail it by being good at the game. Don't worry about that. I personally menu buffer here. You're normally on this, so it's to see if I landed on the pixel or not. Knockback properties on these things are so weird. You don't get knockbacked while you're poke dashing, but if you let it go, you get knockbacked at the end. Yeah. There's also, after beetles, if you hold your sword out, I think you get recoiled in the wrong direction. So like, I'm on 2d8, and I get knocked back to the left, I guess. I don't know. I eat it. Yeah. It knocks you back. It doesn't really, I don't know. It doesn't really look like you're getting knocked back, but it changes your position. It's something wonky. You can't slash anymore. Oh, in this room, I wanted to see this. So, Moogle did that in Noobsplice. But if that jelly electrocutes, I'm pretty sure that jelly can electrocute there. So I'm not sure how you're supposed to accommodate for that with this strat. I would say beam, but sometimes beams are weird facing up on that particular jelly. I don't know why, but it sometimes happens. That was bad, yeah. If you have to slash, you don't want to quick hop. Someone, I think it was Zero, recently found that if you do a spin dash but to mirror instead of to A, the spin finishes once you're back in the doorway. Oh, Popsicle, you were asking about the block delete. You just mash A while you're walking through a block and it gets deleted. Super easy. This is the only one in the run that it matters for, but you can do it in other places as well. It's just that there's nowhere else where we push a block that's inside a cave rather than like a dungeon. But like if you watch Rando or whatever, you'll see people do it in here all the time. I don't know the path through here. There we go. Rando. Oh, it doesn't work. Let's see. Oh, I kind of want to try fire rod stuff in here. I've seen it a bunch lately, and I don't really know what the deal is. Yeah. Yeah, it seemed like it would feel terrible, and I immediately got owned. So, I don't know. I mean, try this, I guess, if you're having trouble in here, but... It doesn't seem like it's gonna be easier. Oh, I forgot what that was. I don't know. I don't have much else to talk about. I haven't killed land molas in a while. Ah! Yeah, it seems like you would want to, but like I don't know. Maybe it's good if you do that. And I don't know what you would want to set it to. I guess you'd want to set it to 0. So I guess what you'd do is flute somewhere. You need to dust to flute or just regular flute? Like, I was thinking that this was going to be like Ice Spooky, where you just do it on your way through a transition or whatever. So the bird never spawns. Whoa. That was weird. I don't know why I didn't go through that the first time. But yeah, I guess if you do that at some point... Oh, what was this new thing? Did anybody see the thing that Louis apparently found? Where you hop down from Turtle Rock to Zora? FSG, I think it was, said that Louis found something. And I assume they're not just talking about this, because we've known about that forever. But it's for new AD route, so it would be leaving Turtle Rock. So maybe there's just like somewhere you can mirror to clip in a pixel for free and then hop down. I don't know. I'm not big-brained enough to find clips. I can usually do them okay, but I can never figure them out. I bet I can do some shit like that. That's actually really interesting, yo. I don't hit that at all. When I get a spin speed correctly. I know it affects your hitbox, but I didn't really know how. I guess it's turning it into a poke hitbox, probably. Because it does other poke-like stuff. But you just have no hitbox behind you when you spin dash. Learning. The spin speed ones are really easy. You just do a spin dash, and then you just walk down and then hold into a corner. Some of the other ones are pretty hard, though. I'm gonna poke that squirrel. I do like the funny palettes. Oh, I was on the good one. Oh, I wasn't on the good one. My Light World visual cues for clips are bad enough when they're not wonky palette ones. Oh, big jump. That's kind of cool. All right, let's see who's streaming this arena host. I don't want to do a run or anything. I got Factorio to play, man. Eddie is streaming. And a lot of rando players are streaming. It's ridiculous. Alright. Host Eddie. Thanks everyone for hanging out. I hope that this was preferably useful, but at least entertaining. I had a good time. It was fun watching it, fun talking about stuff. Hope everyone has a good night. Take care.
Definitely want to spend some time on it. I'm gonna get a new GameCube controller and then we're gonna fire up some Pokemon Ocarina of Time. I'm thinking about to play it casually first before I start speedrunning it, because it's been a while.